Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the Megan Waldrop podcast. I'm your host, Megan, and I'm going to dive into something that I've been thinking about lately, which is what the heck do people mean when they say all we have is the present? All we have is the now when we can remember stories from the past. We have pictures of the past. People are talking about past memories, and we have dreams of the future. But for me, I was always thinking about how can we only have the present when the past can feel so real all the time? And you literally have documentation of it. You have Instagram posts, you have Facebook, you have social media, you have your photo library, you have baby photos of yourself. The list goes on and on. So, this is more of a question that's kind of intermixed with spirituality, mindfulness, and also straight up neuroscience. So we're going to go into it. But when people say all we have is the present, after lots of research, I've realized that they're not saying that the past didn't happen or that the future isn't real or that our memories aren't real. It's saying that the only place that life is actually happening is right now. So when we have these thoughts of the past, we're having them right now. When we have dreams of the future, we're having them right now in that moment when you're having them, even though our brains are so incredible that it makes us feel like we're teleporting back into the past. How many years ago, last week, yesterday, and thinking of maybe past regrets, things that I call them cringe memories, shudder memories. We're like, oh my God, well, I cannot believe that that's something I put myself into. A lot. I've had great times in my 20s, but I have lots of those shudder memories too. But I want to not just wallow in those because I find myself or I have found myself in the past, funny enough, in the past, thinking about them so much that it defines my present. And maybe you understand where you kind of go off into a daydream and you kind of snap out of it. You're like, whoa, I was just in that moment 3 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, and it felt so real. And my body started to react. We start to get really nervous or anxious, or we start to get angry, depending on what this memory is. And it's interesting because our bodies don't know that we're thinking about the past or the future or the present. It just knows these feelings that are arising because of the thoughts that we're having. Y'all following along with me? Does this make sense? So our bodies can't tell time, has no idea what time it is. And that's also, we've talked about the nervous system in the past and why, you know, in the past we needed our sympathetic nervous system to kind of be on more than now because we needed to flee from predators or tigers or whatever we were running from in the past, hunter and gatherer era. But now those same feelings of that fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system clicks on when we have notifications, long emails that we need to return, uh, errands to run, to-do lists. All of that feels like the saber-toothed tiger because our body can't tell the difference of trying to run for safety or getting notifications or seeing social media or the news. So it's interesting to see that, it really is the power of the mind and what we fuel our bodies through that. And the thing is that it can feel really intimidating of how the heck do I get out of this loop? I'm so used to, literally living in the past. And I think that's what it means to live in the past means to live your present moment right now, but your mind is stuck in the past or your mind is stuck in the future where you're totally not even able to be present. And, we hear that word present, like presencing. How do I become more present? And believe me, this has been my studies and my life for the past, I don't know, since I was around 30 years old. I'm 44. So 14 years now. And still, when I hear those words, even though I am working within breathwork facilitation, yoga, meditation, you name it, sometimes when I hear people say those words, I want to roll my eyes so hard. Or as my husband says, eye yoga. Like, I just want to be like, oh my gosh, mindfulness, presencing, or my new favorite that people are throwing around all the time is somatic, which all of these words are very important. I just feel like sometimes they get overused. By the way, somatic, when you hear somatic and people aren't really explaining what that means, it means of the body. So soma, SOMA, somatic, of somatic, that root word is a Greek word, which means body. So that's what people mean when they say somatic. That means of the body, the feelings within the body. Just, little crash course. I had to look it up too, because there's a lot of people that just assume what these words mean whenever they start to become more trendy. And they, you kind of feel lost, like, what am I talking about? Somatic. So that's really what we're talking about when it's, how do we live? How do we have all that we have now? Excuse me. Let me just back up. What does it mean that all we have is now? What does it mean to really truly live in the present? And it's realizing that just because our minds go there doesn't mean that we're actually there. And that's why our bodies kind of get stuck, because it replays. And as we've discussed about the nervous system before, your body is just going back to default mode of what it knows. And so if you've lived in this higher stress existence for years, I have for sure. And I am every day every day I am practicing teaching my body to feel safe on any given day, not just wait till the weekend or wait till a vacation. Because the thing is, it's funny because, we put all these expectations on, well, I don't have time to relax. I have so much to do. I have projects. I have kids to pick up. I mean, fun. I don't have time for fun. I'll have time for fun for 2 weeks out of the year because that's what I'm going to schedule. And that's when I can relax. But the thing is, whenever we get to those vacation points or whenever it is, or big celebrations that we're like, now I'm going to feel amazing. It's funny because sometimes we don't feel amazing. We put so much pressure on having to relax then that our bodies are so not used to relaxing, excuse me, that it almost becomes a threat to feel calm. And you're like, wait, okay, now I'm on vacation, but did I send that last email? Did I cancel that meeting? Was I clear about that? Oh my gosh, what is that person? Did I say something to offend somebody? Then your mind starts racing because it's looking for something to grab onto because it's used to working in that scarcity mode. Excuse me. It's used to constantly having to be on guard all the time. And it's used to that cortisol drip. And I'm going to be real for a moment about that cortisol drip and what I have realized in the past with my addictions. With alcohol was a huge one for me. I'm 10 years sober from alcohol now. But the biggest addiction that was really hard for me to break was marijuana. And I know some people are like, how do you get addicted to marijuana? I mean, come on, you can't just relax and have a joint or a gummy or whatever. And the thing is, everything is addictive if you have an addictive personality. So people are like, you can't get addicted to marijuana. Yeah, you can. You can get addicted to food. You can get addicted to exercise, sex, love, video games, you name it. If you have addictive personality, there is a way for your body to crave more of that. And so for me, the weed addiction, for me, I realized that I wasn't even feeling relaxed on the weed. It would make me feel anxious. And then it would become like a challenge to me, like, oh, can I calm down within this state of not even arousal, just like extreme anxiety? I know this might sound insane to some people, but maybe some people can relate to this on some level. And I realized that it wasn't the weed that I was addicted to, it was the cortisol. I was addicted to that insane cortisol drip anxiety. And it is very addicting. It's like sugar or I mean, what other drugs? Obviously, cortisol is like a drug. It's a stress hormone. It's like slow drip of just having your body feel like it has to be on all the time. And because you're on all the time, your body thinks that is the natural state to be in. So when you're not having that anxiety or having these high emotions, whether that's watching the news all the time or social media, and you're like, oh my God, feeling stressed, but you're like, why am I watching this? But I feel addicted. Like I have to constantly watch this news. I have to constantly take this drug. I have to constantly overcommit. I have to constantly abandon myself and not have boundaries because my body feels safer when it feels anxious, which is wild, right? Because we haven't really given ourselves a chance to train ourselves to feel okay. It's okay to feel calm on a Monday or Tuesday. It's okay not to get wrapped up in this race of people. Oh my God, did you see what's going on? I'm like, nope, I have no clue what's going on. And I feel so much better about it. Thank you very much. Because guess what? Tomorrow, something else is going to go on. Next week, something's going to go on, and people are talking about the world. the world these days and it's just insane. And I'm like, people have been saying that my entire life. Okay. It's just going to keep worlding. Okay. What can you do about it? What can we do to change the world? It starts with changing our nervous system and making ourselves feel calm, because that is all that matters in the end. When we're lying on our deathbed, are we going to think, man, I wish I would have watched more news and have been informed about these constant changing events that I have no control over? Or are you going to say, man, I'm so glad I was able to train myself to feel calm and really enjoy these moments with my loved ones, or just enjoy these beautiful afternoons, or take a walk when I could during work days, or just allow myself to practice and practice and practice to feel safe anytime that I need to. Am I dropping too much on you right now? These are the free throw free flowing thoughts that go through my head a lot, because I want to finally crack that code. Because for me, I have to. It's a survival mode for me now. My survival mode is how to make myself feel more calm every single day. And it's a skill. So it's just like anything else. It's like exercising. Exercising becomes easier. You get more muscle definition whenever you go every day to the gym. You do the reps, even when you don't feel like it. But then it becomes more fun. And then you become stronger. And then you're like, wait, wow, look at my body's changing physically. And whenever you start doing these breath work or calming practices or grounding practices or whatever it is for you that makes you feel good, it compounds over time. You don't just start from ground zero every single day, even though it can feel like that. It can feel very challenging and it can feel like you're going backwards sometimes, but that means that it's working. When you feel resistance, you know it's working, because you're working against that natural state of your body wanting to feel on high alert. And if you're starting to feel resistant to feeling calm, you're just training your body. You're training your body to feel a different way. You're paving new neural pathways in your brain. And I like to think of these neural pathways. So thoughts carve these roads. Okay, it's paved roads, these well-worn paths. And some of my well-worn paths feel like the Grand Canyon. Okay, I've felt like, how am I going to get out of my insecurity about this particular subject? How do I quit replaying over and over again these thoughts and memories that feel like as deep as the Colorado River over millions and millions of years that have carved a Grand Canyon? How the F do I get out of this? I can't get out of this. I don't even know how to get out. What do I climb the walls? Do I fill it in with dirt? Like, how do I make this canyon all beautiful and smooth again? It's like, oh, wait, you don't. This is what you do. You create a whole other path. You start your own river through a different neural pathway. And over again, you're going to have these beautiful thoughts. You're going to practice shifting your mind to feel more positively in your body. And that's going to carve a new way. That's going to have, I think of it like a new river eroding new direction into the earth, like a new canyon, but it's going to be a beautiful, built on these loving joy, creativity, positivity. And it happens one moment at a time. It happens practicing every moment or every day. And the thing is, it's not like you have to make big moves or big leaps to do this. It's 1 millimeter at a time. It's 1 centimeter at a time. It's 1 inch at a time. It's every single day. Just give yourself 3 breaths. That's an easy way to start. You can time yourself, give yourself a minute. Maybe you're starting to feel more comfortable. You want to up it to 2 minutes, up to 5 minutes a day, where you just carve out for yourself just to train your body to feel calm. And there's lots of different techniques to do this. And we talk about them a lot on this podcast for sure. Breath is a really simple one. And I know that it can be challenging for people. Some people think that 3 breaths feels like a lot. Some people feel like a minute feels like a year. And that's okay, because that means you're doing it right. That's the resistance. Okay. When your mind says, this is stupid, this is not going to work for me, that's the resistance part. That means it's working. That means that you're teaching yourself, you're training yourself to think a different way. It took me, let's see, I don't even want to give a timeline. It took me a long time to even feel like what I'm doing right now isn't dumb. From like oh, wait, you're going to have these positive thoughts? That is so ridiculous. I mean, there's thoughts. And then I thought I had to pull myself out of it and say, oh, those negative thoughts are the ones that are trying to keep me safe right now because all it knows is those negative thoughts. So if I'm thinking positive thoughts, it's like, whoa, fight or flight, get the F out of here. We need to go back to default mode, which is the negativity and feeling small and feeling anxious. And I had to continue to train myself. And so I would have these mantras or affirmations, I would say. And some that works for some people, it works for others. It worked, it doesn't work for others. I did it for a while and now I have my own different meditation that I use every morning, but I would have a list of affirmations. You can look them up, Google them, chat GPT them if you want, like affirmations on, money, wealth, love, health, whatever it is. So I would just say these over and over again every morning. And for a more time than I'd like to admit, every morning I would do it. And I'm like, this is so stupid. I think this is dumb. I don't understand why I would think this or say this. And I would say, you know, oh, my life is full of abundance. Every day things are working out for me in ways that I can't expect or explain. Like that's how I would say it to myself because I didn't believe it. And it's because I had that resistance. And then I realized that means it's working. So then eventually I started to say, you know what? How about if I just, I don't know, fuck around and actually lean into these thoughts and say, yeah, what if things are working out for me in ways that I can't expect or explain? What would that feel like? Oh, that feels kind of nice. It feels kind of warm and fuzzy and it doesn't feel cold and heavy or it doesn't feel like I have a gaping hole in my chest. This is how things have felt for me in the past. It actually feels kind of nice. Okay, I felt what that was like for 3 seconds. I wonder if I could see what that feels like for 5 seconds next time. Maybe try it the next day. And this is how I trained my body to feel better. And I realized that this might feel overwhelming for some, like 3 seconds, 5 seconds. What's the point? But I'm thinking, what now? I'm looking back, I'm like 3 seconds of feeling great opposed to never feeling great. And then it compounds. Then it's 5 seconds. Then it's a minute. Then it's an hour, maybe. Then maybe it's a whole day. Maybe it's days in a row. This is how it compounds over time. But the thing is, you have to think about, where am I going to be in a year from now if I don't give myself a chance to feel good? Where am I going to be a year from now if I don't just fuck around and find out in the best way possible? Where would I be in a year from now if I didn't just take the time to give myself 3 breaths a day or give myself a minute or 5 minutes? Where would I be? And God willing, you're still going to be alive in a year from now, right? We're all going to be alive. That'd be great. But I say that and not to be morbid, but to also say that time's going to pass anyway, God willing. So what can we do now to help us create that future, that smoother path for the future? Feeling calm and safe in our body and nervous system is how we define success in 2026. And it shows in how we care for ourselves and the people we love. Kent Safety Products makes flotation gear that gives both recreational and professional boaters peace of mind on the water. So whether it's a family day out or a long day on the job, you can focus on the breeze, the waves, and the moments that matter. Because safety is freedom. Freedom is calm. And calm lets your energy flow where it matters most. Visit KentSafetyProducts.com to learn more. That's KentSafetyProducts.com. Life is precious. Life is beautiful. The world is a beautiful place. It truly is. I truly believe all this to the bottom of my heart. I know that might be controversial to some people, but we are so lucky to be living where we are and as we are right now. We were sent to live here during this time for a reason. And the fact that you're even still listening to this says a lot about how much you deeply care for yourself and how much that love for yourself truly is inside, whether you are able to believe it right now or not. I talk about my nephew. I was doing a workshop the other week and My nephew Archie, who's 3 years old. Oh no, he just turned 4. So he just turned 4. My sister sent me a picture of him, and he was in full Spider-Man costume on his bicycle. And it's so cute when he puts on that Spider-Man costume. And maybe you've seen this with kids in your own life. You can't tell them any other way that they're Spider-Man. I mean, Archie, his walk changes, the way he speaks changes, his face changes. I mean, he embodies that character, and he can save the world. He can do anything. He is unstoppable. And it is so sweet. And we all were those children at one time. We still are those children. And how do I know that? It's because when we see kids that are dressing up, maybe it's a girl dressing up as Wonder Woman, girl, boy, whatever, non-binary. I'm not trying to gender here. I'm just, I'm still training myself to speak in more broad terms. So I'm just a human as well. But when we see kids dressing up in princess or superhero costumes, we think, oh, look at them. They are just living their best lives. They're imagining, they're embodying this inner power that they have. And we're not telling them, well, good luck, kid. Hope you soak it up now because life's going to beat you down. And then you're going to realize that you don't have those superpowers and that you can't save the world and that you're not as special as you think you are. We're not going to say that to them, even though we may say that to ourselves, which is insane to think that, but easy to see how it happens because that's normal for so many of us. We've just gotten trained to think these negative thoughts that aren't even true. We tell these children, we see them, we're like, oh, wow. Oh, Spider-Man. Whoa, what are you going to do? Save the day. You start playing with them, you start interacting with them, and you're like, yes, you can do it. And why we tell these younger kids that they can do it and they're incredible and that nothing can stop them is that because that inner child within us knows that to be true. We know that to be the actual truth for all of us. We know that all of this BS bullshit noise that we're hearing from media, that we're hearing from people that don't believe in themselves, so they say really rude things to us, people that are going through hard times that's that project negativity onto other people, and we've taken that into our bodies and it's become almost like built up trauma. We know that all of that shit is not real. We know that what's really true are these kids, that the kids within us, that we see playing outside in their uniform, in their costumes, that we know that, yeah, kid, you enjoy that because you are that special. You have that power inside. You can change the world. That's, we think of, we're like, well, the youth can save the world. The youth is the future. We say that because we still feel that about ourselves, but we've kind of given up in a way. We've kind of thought, well, nope, I'm too indoctrined in all this stuff that I've seen and experienced and heard that I'm not able to untangle this knot. I'm not able to dig myself out of this canyon that I've created for myself. It's too hard. People say that they can't, and it's not that they can't, it's that they won't because it takes a lot of work to do that. These everyday works, this 3 breaths, this 1 minute, the 5 minutes, that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of willpower to keep it going, but it gets easier over time. And 2, I don't even know where I was going with that, but it was why people think they can't. Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to the work, the self improvement. What does that mean? Oh, self help. They used to joke around like the self help section. It's so embarrassing. I wouldn't want to be there. I'm like, I want to live in the self help section. That's where I live every day. I want to help myself every day. I want to improve because it's not selfish. But the best part about when you're able to invest in yourself in these ways, 3 breaths, 1 minute, 5 minutes, training your body to feel safe for 3 seconds. Like, what does it mean to lean into this affirmation? The best bonus of that, besides the love that you're able to give yourself, that you give others all the time, besides that, hello, which is number 1. The second thing is that you're able to truly appreciate your loved ones more in ways that you life hits you all at once. You're able to be in those moments with your family and just accept everybody for who they are and truly appreciate the moment that y'all are together, because it's never going to be like that all the time. You're never going to have everybody in your life that you have right now for the rest of your life. Does that make sense? One day, one person won't be there. Life ends at some point. And I don't mean this to sound morbid. I mean this to sound the reason that life is ending is that's what makes it so precious. That's why it's so beautiful is that we only have a temporary amount of time here. So how do we train our bodies to set the stage for the calm tomorrow? How do we not get stuck in these loops in the past? It's taking these 3 breaths, it's taking a minute, 5 minutes, whatever feels good for you. It's a no pressure, but it's intentionally going, what would it feel like to feel safe? What does safe mean for me? Does that mean what would it feel like not to have debt? What would it feel like to own a house? What would it feel like to find the love of my life? What would it feel like to have a child? What would it feel like to have a beach house, billions of dollars? I mean, you name it. And it's funny because we have these dreams of, man, whenever I have this one thing, it's really my life's going to be set. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to feel so good. And the thing is, it's not the stuff that we want to accumulate. It's not the people, it's not the home, it's not the beach or vacations or trips around the world. That stuff isn't going to make us feel more complete. It's what that stuff represents to us. We feel like once we get to that level, that we're going to be able to just chillax and be calm and not have any worries. And the thing is, life is going to keep happening no matter what in the most beautiful way. And we can teach ourselves to feel that good, that abundant now. What does it feel like to have all those things now? How would it feel to receive all of that? Now, if someone was able to give you a check or whatever it is that you want, grant your wishes tomorrow, are you able in your body to even receive that? Are you going to feel safe enough to actually take that on and say, yeah, I deserve this, or yes, this is mine. This is where I need to be. We can train ourselves to feel that expansiveness now. What would it feel like to have a beach house? What would it feel like to have this? And then once we're able to practice that expansiveness, that just becomes a natural part of the rhythm of our everyday lives. I hope this is landing. I'm going to keep talking about this in new ways because every time that we discuss this, every time we have different conversations, different storytelling, different types of ways of communicating this idea of feeling calm in our nervous system, it hits differently. That also compounds. It also allows us to understand it not only intellectually, but in a more visceral level, visceral meaning of your body, that's somatic, soma, body. It allows us to ingest it more and be like, oh, okay, it's like pieces of a puzzle. Okay, this piece kind of makes sense. This piece makes sense. All right, then you're getting more pieces, you're collecting more information, then eventually you get the whole picture. It's going to make more sense. And so, yes, how do we teach ourselves to feel more calm? And we can do it with the breath. And remember this always. There's many breathwork techniques, incredibly powerful breathwork techniques to make you feel more relaxed and calm, breathwork techniques to make you feel more energy and more vitality for your work or your day. And there's breathwork techniques to take you on a psychedelic journey. This is the power of breathwork. There's so much, but the one to relax. Okay. This is one thing that to remember always. Just keep your exhale longer than your inhale. That's all you have to do. You can do a quick exhale, just like, just sigh it out. Just get all that breath out. And inhale for 3, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one. And notice how your body's feeling now. Where do you feel that you have more space? Where do you feel calmer? Maybe you're feeling a little resistant. That's okay. That means it's working. And you can give this to yourself every single day, anytime you need it. 3 breaths. You can do it for longer. You can do your inhales for any count that you want. If 3 was too long for you, you can inhale for 2, exhale for 4. If you want to take it longer, you can inhale for 4, exhale for 8. You can build it, make it your own. You can set a timer. You can do it for however long you want. But doing something that simple every single day is going to make a difference. It will build over time. You're going to be able to be more aware of what's going on in your body. You're going to be aware of how to control your emotions more when you're around people that might be triggering or events that might be triggering, or maybe you're in a meeting or you're with your kids or with your spouse and you're feeling really heightened. And these are ways that you can ground yourself. They might sound simple, but they work, I promise. I like to also, here's a little tip too. You can set a timer on your phone every day at a certain time. Practice breath work for 3 breaths. Practice for a minute. Set a timer. Do it for that minute. Drop whatever you're doing. You can be in the car, you can be in the office, you can be at home, you can be in line at the grocery store, and you can do these simple practices. And just think, where am I going to be? How would I be in a year from now if I kept doing this every single day? And if you miss a day, that's okay. You just pick it up where you left off. That it compounds. It's not going to go away. It's going to keep training your body to feel safe. Keep doing the reps. You're not alone. You've got this. Thanks for not bearing with, but just being a part of this journey today on this conversation, because I had whole pages of what I was going to talk about, and I totally went off script here. But I really love that we can just be real and talk about what's going on in our bodies, how to improve, and not have any shame around wanting to improve ourselves. Because what are we going to like? Where's the shame of wanting to be better, right? Wanting to be better than who you were yesterday. How to improve to make our lives more fulfilled, more fun. Like, whatever happened to fun? To be those inner children that are dressed up as their favorite superhero or character to feel more free in that way. Oh, and I learned this saying the other day. It's so funny. Uh, and this reminds me of the thoughts that I was having when I was doing the affirmations. And I thought, oh my God, this is so dumb. How cringy. I learned this phrase that says, to be cringe is to be free. Okay. Be cringe, y'all. Be cringe to others, because who cares? That means you're being true to yourself. Here's to compounding every single day beautiful ways that we can give ourselves these seeds of self-love that we give everyone else every day, that kindness that we share with strangers, to feed ourselves with first. And it starts with just a simple breath. And it starts with that breath. It starts with another breath. And it starts with knowing that over time it's going to be easier. And any kind of resistance that you feel, know that you're doing it right. I hope you liked this episode. If you're on YouTube, I'm waving to you right now. Let me know what you liked about this subject. And I look forward to getting into more deep conversations with you, because life is beautiful. Life is but a dream. Let's make it however we want. Let's just talk about these deep feelings, these deep thoughts, in ways that we can get to not only understand ourselves better, but we get to understand each other better too. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Happy breathing.